So you learned that a 300-foot tall dinosaur with radioactive breath is going to be coming into town. So you send a SWAT team up to the ceiling with what? MP5 9mm? Yeah, that's going to work out well. Tell me, guys, exactly what did you think was going to happen when you opened up with a bunch of glorified machine pistols on an armor-plated dinosaur the size of a skyscraper? On this episode of Fun with Guns, Guns vs. Godzilla. Now, one thing that has made small arms useless against Godzilla is pure size. But of course, as anyone who's a fan of the franchise knows, he also has an extremely dense and almost instantly healing skin. His size has changed from 50 meters in the original 1954 movie to almost 120 meters in his last incarnation of Shin Godzilla. That means shooting at him with small arms is the equivalent of pretty much of shooting at him if he was the size of a human with a grain of salt. Now, it's true that small arms did manage to take out King Kong in 3 iterations of the movie. Well, more to the point, they managed to either send him into shock or let him have enough blood loss that he fell off the top of a building and fell to his death. But he's a soft-skinned mammal, not a hard-skinned reptile. Against Godzilla, they're absolutely useless. I mean absolutely. So why do they keep including scenes in the movies where they use small arms? Well, probably just in the vain hope that at a minimum they'll deter him or send him in another direction. Usually he either gets chased off by jets or, in some cases, by cannon fire. Of course, in some cases it just flat out ticks him off, and this is what happens. So ultimately, the entire idea of using small arms against Godzilla is pretty ludicrous. Perhaps the best case of this worst idea is in what is arguably the worst Godzilla movie ever made, which was the American production made in the mid-90s, which was so bad that it's been removed from canon and called Zilla. Of course, that movie was bad on so many levels it almost defies description. And as a veteran of the U.S. Army, I find its portrayal of the American military, the Army in particular, as beyond ridiculous to the point of being flat out insulting. But I go off on a tangent. So ultimately, the only reason that they would use small arms against Godzilla in the movies is because they're trying to gradually ratchet up the level of violence used to minimize the amount of collateral damage. The movie Shin Godzilla, the most recent iteration, does an excellent job of showing this, but even then they start off with 20mm cannons. So basically, if you see Godzilla and you have a gun, don't shoot. Run. The best you could hope for is to get his attention, and that would be a bad thing. This is Capt Max with Fun with Guns. I hope you enjoyed this little trip into fantasy just for kicks and giggles, which is really the whole idea of this entire program. You guys, be safe.